Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Paper Crafting Saturday. I'm Leslie Watkins. So I hope everybody's well today and enjoying this beautiful spring day here in North America. I know some of you are from some other places around the world, but it is beautiful and sunny here in New England. It's nice and cool outside. And the daffodils are blooming like crazy. And in fact, I was out earlier this morning and looking at the daffodils in front of the house here at Dandelion Cottage, and they are looking better than ever. So I think what I'm going to do is later today, I'm going to go out with my camera and take a bunch of shots so you can see how beautiful they all look. Excuse me. And I've been working with this stamp set, Daffodil Daydream, for the past couple of weeks. I like it very much. It comes as a bundle with these wonderful dies. There are a lot of dies in here. There are 24. This is a big die set. And I've made a number of projects that I've shared with you. But today I'm going to do something a little bit different. And if you go back a couple of videos ago, I showed you how I just did a very quick loose watercolor. Let's see if I can figure out how I did this. Something like that, maybe. Something like that. That looks about right. Okay. So I did this sort of loose and abstract watercolor with the intention that I would then take these shapes and use the dies to cut them out. So if you'd like to do something like this, I used the shimmery white cardstock. And by the way, everything that I use here today, I will list below in the supply section. So after I do the live video, I'll come back and I'll post all those links. And by the way, today is April 30th. It's the last day to get your last chance order in. So starting May the 3rd, there's going to be a new catalog, and this is the last day of April. And you want to make sure that you get those orders in because they're only available while supplies last. And that code that you see on the screen there is the host code. And if you use that code when you place your order, if the order goes over $100 or more, you're going to also get a gift from me. So I'll post that below as well. But if you want to take a quick screenshot, you could do that too. So that's what I have in mind. I have a couple of other things here. I've got a piece of very vanilla cardstock, 4.5 by, or 4.25 by 5.5 inch card. I've got a piece of balmy blue to use as a layer. And I have some other scraps here. I also have some die cuts that I've done previously. There are different daffodil shapes that I've cut out of the very vanilla, and some vellum pieces and some other little scraps. And I'm going to get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out so I can make some die cuts and figure out how I want to proceed. How many of you are crafting today in your art studios or your craft rooms? I'm going to check my settings, make sure that we're live. Looks good. Looks good. Okay. Hey, Mary, what are you doing in today? Mary's one of my almost neighbors. She's in an adjoining town to mine, and I'm surprised she's not outside in her garden. Nice to see you, Mary. And Danette is here. Hi, Danette. And Linda, good afternoon. I have a question for everybody. I know there's other people who watch at different times. They don't always catch the lives, but I have a question for everybody. Um, we're starting to get into summer, and I know in my town things get so busy. There's so many parties and events going on. People travel. They have barbecues and go swimming and all the good stuff that we do during the summer. I'd like to know what you think of my current schedule. So, what I've been doing is I've been presenting these Facebook Lives to you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 12 noon. And I'm thinking about reducing my schedule just for the summer. I would resume again in the fall. But I have things I'd like to do in the garden as well. I was thinking that you might be interested in seeing a little bit more of my gardens and with more of a focus on the blossoms that I have throughout the season. In my watercolor card club, we're about to start a flower series where we go into depth into painting various flowers. So I thought maybe to change things up just a little bit during the summer. So my question to you is the Saturday at 12 noon breaking up your weekend, breaking up your day? Is it okay? Do you want to keep it? Would you like to see something different? What days would work better for you? The same goes for the Monday and the Wednesday. So I just want to pick your brains a little bit and see what you think would work best. What would you like to see? And maybe, any suggestions that I haven't thought of. Alrighty, so I'm going to start with the stems. And in the die set, you have leaves, stems, and a bud. So I'm going to get all these on there. The other really nice thing about this die set is that they have similar dies in here, but just a little bit different. So you don't get that repetitive look. So if you notice, some of these leaves are going in slightly different directions. So it's very natural looking. Got the bud and stems. Squeeze these on. All right, we'll start with that, and I'm gonna pass these through a couple of times so that I have a nice assortment to work with. Okay, so there are my nice pieces. I think I can get a few more out of this piece of paper. Oh wait, I'm upside down here. What am I doing? Fix that. when you get the stamps and the dies together, you save an additional 10%. All right, and then I think I'm gonna grab my bud again. I'm gonna get this little colored portion over here. Okay, now I'll grab my yellow, and for this I want these trumpets. So I've got these trumpet shapes. Do that bud again. I might want something with that. And let's see, I've got a little butterfly here. That might be fun to do in the yellow. So really, I'm just experimenting here. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to use everything, but what I like to have to hand is a nice assortment of things so that I can strike as the inspiration, act as the inspiration strikes. Okay. Get my pokey tool out. This is my paper piercer, and I'm just going to push the cardstock out of those with those little holes that are designed so that you can do that. And I think I'm going to pass this through again. I hope you all have your coffee. I should have warned you ahead of time, but I think many of you know that Saturdays tend to go a little bit longer than the weekdays. And where's that other bud? Where'd the other bud go? There it is. Okay, right in front of me. And I think I'll try a couple of these as well. Just trying to use every last little spot that I can here. I'm getting very excited about painting in the gardens this year. I hope that you'll all join me in the flower painting series. It's going to be an awesome way for anybody who hasn't done a lot of garden painting before to learn how to get set up, how to get started, what to do, how to keep a notebook or a sketchbook with all of your flower paintings. So if that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe to Notes from Dandelion Cottage, and you will be kept up to date as all of the classes get scheduled, and you'll be able to learn more about them and what you'll need and all that good stuff. All right, I think we've got enough to get started. I may have to go back at some point and add a few odds and ends, but that'll be something. And I next just want to take a minute to collect my dies so that I can make sure that I have them all. There are some really tiny little dies in this set, so it's especially important, I think, to put them away. There we go. Okay, so let's do a quick count here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I didn't count right. Make sure there's no other dies around here. Okay, so I've got 4 here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. All right, so this is my base. And first off, I want to make sure that I like the color combination, and I do. This is Balmy Blue. So that looks very pretty. When the daffodils are in their full glory, as they are right now, against this brilliant blue sky, it is just such a beautiful sight to behold. Get these little pieces out. All right. So that's looking pretty nice already. We haven't even done anything yet. Very pretty. And I also have some of these vellum pieces, which are really beautiful for adding that nice translucent quality to these outer petals. So I like that. And I like how they soften the color so it's not quite so bright. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Trying to find one of those vellum buds. And the other thing I want to think about is leaving place for a sentiment on here. I probably won't be putting a sentiment on here yet because I'm not sure whether this will be a thank you card or a birthday or what. I like to have some cards ready to go. But you do have the option of making this a Mother's Day card, which could be very nice. I also like note cards that just focus on the message rather than the message, I mean, that you write inside, rather than just a quick sentiment. Just want to get these lined up. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to get my glue dots. Mary says, what magnets do you use for keeping your dies? Mary, I get a lot of stuff from Stampin' Storage, and I have a link that that I can post below for you. I'm also a Stampin' Storage affiliate, so I would get like a small commission if you were to get something, which would be very nice. So I will make sure that I include that so that you can check it out. They have all kinds of wonderful storage systems, things that are particularly designed for stamping up product. However, a lot of other paper crafting supplies will fit very nicely in there, and they coordinate with IKEA. So if you're looking to, redo your craft room and get shelves that will hold paper holders or punch holders, that sort of thing, they're all beautifully coordinated and very nicely made. So it's a good place to check out. I like their magnetic cards. They come in a couple of different sizes, and they I think it's just such a good thing to do to I gotta get another glue dot. I just think it's such a good thing to do to keep your dies from getting lost. I'm always afraid that these tiny little things are just going to stick to something or end up in the trash, and so I like to label. I put the name of the set. So I put the name of the set on there, and I also put the amount of dies that are contained in the set so I can know that they're all together. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna stagger this. Just gonna give it a little bit of a twist. I like it both ways, but I think that might be pretty. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bend these a little bit, give them a little more dimension. Oops, pulled one off. It's okay. It's going to go underneath the cup. Okay. I have 3 broody hens right now that are sitting on clutches of eggs. They're so cute. I'm not sure how many of those eggs will hatch, but if I get some chicks this year, I'll make sure that I share them with you. Alright, so next what I want to do is figure out where I want my blossoms to be before I get my leaves and things on there. I want to get this flower in profile. I love that they all go in different ways. Different directions. Right, something like that. Okay, and then this little one. Slip that behind here. Okay. All right, so there are my main elements where